So today I'm going to talk about culture and how culture is the key to innovation. Thank you. So being a great programmer or an engineer requires more than technical ability. And building a world-class engineering organization is more complex than just hiring skilled coders. Tech companies today that enjoy long-term success know that innovation happens when people are invested in what they're doing and are connected to each other. That's why creating a culture based on empathy, humanity, trust, and love is so critical to excellence. I believe the last century may have belonged to a command and control mentality, but today human connections are the key to operational excellence. Let me first introduce you to Rocket. This is what we do. We make software that the world's biggest companies trust to run their data, to run their business processes, to run their infrastructure. And many of the captives here in Bangalore use our software every day to run their business. And this is also what we do. As companies digitally transform, as companies become more tech-enabled, we help them deliver improved customer experiences. And we do that in three exciting areas: in data, in applications, and security. But what we really do at Rocket, what we really do is we innovate. Now you're here today because you're software engineers. You want to build something great. You're here because you want to innovate. So let me tell you my story about software engineering, about my dream to create something big, and about my passion for innovation. I was you 28 years ago. 28 years ago, I wanted to find a company that had the culture that I wanted to work in. I wanted to find a company that had the values that I had, that wanted to treat customers well, that believed in treating engineers well, that wanted to build, hopefully, really hard technical things that would make a difference in this world. And because I couldn't find that, I started Rocket. Now, in the beginning, we wanted to build something long-lasting and something that would make a difference. We wanted to build something transformative and sustainable. And we wanted to do it with a culture of good engineering and treating people well. We wanted to stand for something and knew that our culture would be our key to success. What we did would be important, but the how we did it would be even more important. Now, building something long-lasting, extending value over many decades, delivering improved customer experiences while the technology landscape continually changes, that requires innovation. So I want to share a few key themes that lie at the core of our innovation culture at Rocket. First, it all starts with listening to your customers. You heard that earlier today. What do they need? And putting yourselves in their shoes, why do they need it? When you treat customers better than anyone else, then they tell you things that they don't tell anyone else. And those conversations, those trusted conversations, lead to the spark that leads to innovation. It all starts with putting them first. Second, it begins with good engineers and good engineering. Simply put, good engineers want to be treated well. You want to be treated well. You want to be valued. You want to be empowered. You want to be able to make decisions. You want the time and the space to create and to innovate. You want to work in a culture that values engineers and good engineers. But it doesn't stop there. An innovation culture is all about trust and love. Now, those aren't words you're going to find in any computer science textbook, but at Rocket, we use those words a lot. One example of trust and love is our partnership with IBM. At Rocket, IBM is our largest partner, and we innovate and develop and support over 100 products for IBM. That partnership started almost 25 years ago, and it has grown each and every year because of the trust we have between the organizations and the love that we have for each other. I can't emphasize enough that a culture of trust and love creates the foundation necessary for innovation. Now, at Rocket, we've grown through a series of acquisitions. In fact, we first entered the market here in India through a Bangalore acquisition we made last year. Each of these dots on the map represent a Rocket location or a Rocket acquisition. And as you can imagine, each of these acquisitions come with their own definition of what treating customers well means, of what treating engineers well means, and what trust and love means. So it's quite challenging to create an innovation culture across so many different time zones and geographies and languages. How do you do that? Well, for us at Rocket, we took the time to write down our core values. Remember what I said earlier, the what we do is important, but the how we do it is even more important. So what is our culture? What does it mean to be a Rocketeer? And what do we expect from each other? These three pillars here represent our core values. And then we took the time to write down our customer bill of rights. What should our customers expect from us in their words? And we imprinted each of these on poker chips that you see here on the screen, and we use that as a piece of currency that we share with each other when we see each other exhibiting these values. What are some other aspects of our innovation culture? Well, we actually create the time and the space to innovate. We force people to get out of their day jobs and intentionally force ourselves to exercise our innovation muscle through many of our hackathon events. We host a hackathon that we call Rocket Build in each of our local R&D centers. In fact, our Bangalore Rocket Build happened just this week. And we create the time and the space to play music together. Many of our Rocketeers are musicians, like you saw with Arvind and Rohit today. We created our own band that we call the Rocket Band, and we take on many different forms and shapes and sizes. We play many different genres of music, jazz and rock and funk and punk, and yes, even Hindi. Last night we played together for hours. We believe so much in collaboration that we've organized our company around R&D resource centers that we call centers of excellence. Our software engineers come to work every day in the office, not working from home, working side by side, creating great software and software that matters to our customers and our partners. Here in India, we have 2 centers of excellence. Our hub center is located in Pune, and we have a satellite center in Bangalore. We empower each of our centers to innovate, to create, to have true product ownership. And yes, decisions are made here in our centers of excellence. That is our culture. That is a culture that I believe drives innovation. It drives innovation around data. It drives innovation around applications. And it drives innovation around security. So I thank you today for coming and listening, and I hope you can find your culture for innovation. Thank you very much.